So this is my presentation on what is big data, and the country that I chose was Japan. And in this presentation, we're going to talk about how it's being used, way economically it's used, and different reasons why people use, pretty much just with the big idea of what is big data in Japan specifically. So what is big data? So it is a little bit hard to explain. It might be a little bit hard to understand, but through the different examples that I'm going to be talking about in my presentation will help further understand what big data is. But big data is basically a large amount of data and a big volume. Big data helps businesses to use data from users to make better and smart business strategies. So who is using big data? So really big companies like Amazon, American Express, and Netflix are all using big data. And they use it for numerous reasons. But in Japan, specifically, one of the really high up companies is Fujitsu, which we're later going to talk about what all that they do. So why do companies use big data? So big data is used for many different things. You're able to discover trends in different things, predictions, help collect data, analyze it. Here I have example is video games. In a video that we watched in class, they were talking about with the example of using video games of how people that create the games go in and look at big data and see all the different times of when people get up, when they pause the game, etc., which helps people to create games that are more involved and help people not get off and what people need or what they expect in the game to keep the player engaged. So where are they using or implicating big data? So like I talked about earlier, with the video game, that enhances customer experience to see what consumers are wanting, like people on TikTok that create TikTok see what people are more engaged with and stuff like that. Used to find fraud or conduct cybersecurity, see what users are doing and what you can do to prevent these things, and then predictive maintenance on what needs to be fixed on whatever it is that you're selling or have in the company. So when are they using big data? Literally right now as we speak. There is a really cool example is in retirement homes in Japan. They are using big data to help solve staff shortages and to see what would bring people in and stuff like that. So how are they using big data? Another thing from the retirement home is that there is a thing called digital farming. If you didn't know, but Japan is actually the lowest food self-sufficiency has really low out of all the rates of the major world economics or economies. But with the help of big data, by 2030, it is predicted for Japan to be 45% more food self-efficient, and government has turned to digital farming. So here are my two truths and one lie. One is Japan is using big data in airplanes to ensure safety. 2, 2021 is when the Medical Big Data Act was established. And 3, only 8% of companies in Japan are now using big data services in their systems.